Today guys, I wanted to talk about how the mining system in Grand RP could be improved a lot. I have mentioned this before, so we're going to go over it, look at a few different clips, and I want to know what you guys think. So I hope you enjoy the video, and if you haven't joined the server before and want to, be sure to click the link down below in the description, click on start playing, select which server you want to play on, register an account, download the launcher, and if you need any further assistance, there's a quick video at the end to help you guys out. And if you want to play on your phone, there's a link down below for that as well. Everything you could do on the PC version of the game, you could do on the go. And if you use code Frolickz when you sign up, you'll get a free rare accessory. But with that said, I hope you enjoy, and let's do this. So the very first thing you're going to need in order to mine in Grand RP is a pickaxe, as you all know. And then you come over to one of these quarries, and as soon as it lets you, you will walk up, hold E, and you will start mining. And it's as simple as that. You can get copper, you can get rubies, you can get emeralds, and diamonds. Now, most of the time, you're just gonna get a ton of copper, even if you have a level 3 pickaxe. As you can see, we just got 4 items of copper right there. Let's do it again and see if we get something a little bit better. Nope, we just got some more copper. Either way, you guys already know how to mine in Grand RP. It's very, very simple. What do you do with all of the stuff you get? Now, one thing you can obviously do is craft a luminous stone, which I believe is the only thing you're actually able to do, sadly. But yes, you can craft a luminous stone for 500 rubies and 100 diamonds, which I've also mentioned is a complete ripoff considering luminous stones are worth about $50,000 now. And that's because there's just so many people that have them. You're able to get them from the battle pass as well. They've gone down a lot in value. I don't believe there's anything else you're able to craft with diamonds, rubies, emeralds, or copper. And when it comes to the copper and the emeralds, there is literally nothing in the city that you could do with it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the only thing I've ever seen before is you're able to exchange it for resources in certain events that happen, and then you could buy cool prizes. That's literally the only thing. Of course, you're also able to sell them to people, and you could sell them to the traders, I guess, which will not make you that much money. Let's head over to one right now. And to be honest, nobody's really buying up these items either because there's nothing to do with them. And the last time there was an event where you could exchange resources was a while back, so maybe if they had another event like that, we could use them again. But there's definitely some other purposes out there for copper, emeralds, rubies, and diamonds. But either way, we're at the fence, or the trader, whatever you want to call it. We walk up to him, we say, I want to look at the prices. We have 38 pieces of copper. We sell that for 304 bucks. Sure. We made a tiny bit of money. We also got 1 emerald. Nice, okay. We can sell that for 84 bucks. So let's talk about how they can improve this. There was another RP server I played on. They had a whole system in play, and I thought it was awesome. So let's take a look at it. I'm not even sure if the server exists anymore still, but pretty much you would go over to the quarry, you would go talk to this dude. You could either buy some pickaxes, some drill bits, and other things that you may need to just survive, like food and water. And then you could also buy other things like a mining drill, a laser drill, and then you would take that stuff and start mining with it. You wouldn't be able to just get the laser drill right away because it costs a lot of money. So you'd have to make some money first, and then you could start. But either way, once you get your resources, you would go up to these rocks right here, and then you would just start mining them. Now, you're not going to get a ruby or an emerald or a diamond. You're going to get stones. That's what you would get from doing this. And by the way, in this server, they had a lot of other things too. They also had sapphires. I believe there was silver and gold as well. But either way, once you finish mining some of these rocks, you're going to get a bunch of stones, and they do weigh quite a bit. So you could only hold on to maybe 5 or 6 of them. Or if you had a car or a truck, you could store them in your trunk, and then you would bring them over to the next location. The next location would be the stone washing area. From there, you would just walk into the water and start washing the stone. And then what will end up happening is you will get something out of it. It could be gold ore, it could be silver ore, emerald ore, ruby ore, literally just anything. You will end up getting something. So in this case, it looks like we got ruby, and I just realized I called it ruby ore. It's not ruby ore, it's just, you just got ruby from it. But yeah, you would wash all of your stones off here, and once you have all of the ingots or the gemstones, you would bring them to a factory where you could do a couple more things with them. That's the difference between this and Grand RP. Normally, you would just get the ruby, or you would get the emerald or the diamond, and that's it. There's nothing more you could do. But here, there's a lot more you can do. And by the way, if you wanted to, you could just take the ingots or the ore or any of the gemstones straight to a jewelry shop and sell them for cold hard cash right away. Normally, I would sell off the sapphires and the diamonds, but all of the gold and silver I would keep because I could turn them into necklaces or rings or bracelets, and I would make a lot more money off of them. So yeah, that's why I went here, sell off a couple of the things, but now let's head to the factory. So let's say you didn't want to wash any of the stones that you picked up, you would come over here and go to the cracking station and crack them open, and this is where you would get the gold ore or silver ore. And by doing that, it'll allow you to go and craft some other stuff, which you'll see in a minute. But at this machine right here, use the cracking bench, and then it'll just start cracking open a stone. Simple as that. And there's also a few other things you can get from this too that help out other people in the city. For example, carbon is something that you're able to get in this game. You would then sell that to business owners, and they can use that for whatever they need. Just like in Grand RP, if you own something like a juice shop, you need to go out and buy a bunch of fruits. But either way, that's just one other thing you can get from this. You could also just sell the carbon straight to the people or the NPCs at this factory. So once you're done cracking open most of the stones, you want to head over to the smelting pot, which is right here. And this is where you're going to start smelting some stuff. So anything that had a check mark next to it, you were then able to start smelting and turn it into ingots. And this is where we start making some real money. But you guys could see how much more advanced it is, and there's just so much more you're able to do with the stuff that you mine, opposed to literally just going there, mining, instantly getting a gemstone or whatever, and then that's pretty much it. But after that, you would come over to these things right here. These machines will then turn them into jewelry. So when you take a look at this, there's a bunch of stuff you're able to make. The thing I would make most were gold chains, because you would use one golden ingot, you would end up getting 3 necklaces out of that, and you could sell each necklace or chain for 500 bucks a pop, which is pretty solid. You can also combine them with rubies, diamonds, or sapphires, make a little bit more money from that as well. But I actually found out that if you sell a gold chain by itself, opposed to a golden chain with a diamond on it, you'll actually make more money just selling the chains by themselves and then the gemstones by themselves as well. But either way, this is where you would come to make the jewelry. And there's a lot of it, as you can see. So I would always make the golden chains. And once I finish crafting all of these items, I go back to the jewelry shop. I sell the gold chains. I sell the other diamonds and other crap that I had on me, and I'll make a bunch of money. And it was great. The server's economy, by the way, was completely different than Grand RP's economy. A car would only cost you like 200 grand. Even a business would only be like 2 or 300K. Of course, they'll go up in value, but definitely not like 100 million or 200 or even $1 billion, because that's kind of insane. So the money I was making here is actually very, very good considering how much things in the server cost. But then you could see here, I walk up to this dude and I just start selling a bunch of stuff, and you could see the money is rolling in. Now, I actually didn't even mine for that long. I think when I recorded this a while back, I believe I only ended up mining like 5 or 6 rocks, something like that, and I ended up walking away with a pretty decent amount of money. So a lot of people saw this and they started doing it, and they were making bank when they were playing in this city. But at the end of the day, you could see how much more advanced and just more fun this mining system is, opposed to the one that we have in Grand RP. So I want to hear your thoughts on this. Which one would you prefer to use? The basic, simple mining system that we have currently in Grand Roleplay, where you just walk up to one of the quarries, start mining, get the gemstones, and then after that, they're pretty much just useless unless there's a specific event that comes out. Or would you rather have something more like this, where, you know, it makes the game a little bit more fun, at least in my opinion, and there's things you can craft, opportunities to make money, just all that kind of stuff. I'm just saying, in Grand RP, they definitely need to improve on a little thing like that, and there's other jobs out there that are similar, just like fishing. What do you do with the fish? I know you can fry trout, and that is pretty much it. But we're not talking about that, we're talking about the mining system. So let me know down below, which one would you prefer to be in the game? And who knows, maybe the developers will see this and they'll add something like this in an upcoming update, because I would personally be blown away. I think they made some amazing stuff in this city, but there's always room for improvement. So let me know what you guys think down below. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and with that said, I will catch you guys in the next one.